Sometimes the sun goes round the moon. Sometimes the snow falls down in June. Hi everyone, I hope you're all doing well. Welcome, come on in. Okay, so today I have an interesting message, and it is actually from King Akhenaten in the spirit. Okay, and the information that I'm going to be giving you guys here in this video or in this recording is going to be important for future as well, future information that's going to be discovered about Akhenaten. As you know from the channel, all of the predictions have come to pass. I will be doing some predictions in this video as well, and I will be also giving you guys information about things that are going to happen this year that are going to be important. But the message is concerning these things. However, they have asked me to give a bit of history regarding Akhenaten and Nefertiti, his wife. And the reason I am able to know this information is because I'm grateful to God that I'm able to know this information. It has been revealed to me by Spirit. It's because I am a descendant of Nefertiti and Akhenaten. Okay, on my both sides, apparently, my mother and my father, both lineages, they meet in. There is a great grandma that we have who is called Akhenaten Nefertiti. Akhenaten Nefertiti, later called Akhenaten when she married Tutankhamun. And I will be explaining things about the names that people do not know, about the meanings of these names that have been revealed to me. So Akhenaten Nefertiti is one of Nefertiti's daughters. And she is my grandmother in terms of lineage, okay, in terms of my background and my heritage. So the story that I was told was that Akhenaten arrived here from a planet, and this planet is from a cluster that is beyond Canis Major. It is behind Canis Major, and I do say this in the Nefertiti video. If you scroll down the videos for the Nefertiti oil, you will listen. There is some information as well in that video. You will listen to that information, and it will make a bit more sense to you as well. So Akhenaten is from a planet that is beyond Canis Major. They came here at a time in Egypt, in the history of Egypt, and Akhenaten got married to Nefertiti. It's such a beautiful story that I was told by Spirit, and they have reassured you and assured me that this is the truth and that it will be discovered and known. And if anyone here knows a historian or someone who knows about the history of these things, you can send this video to them. Maybe it will help them discover the actual history of things that happened, or make correlations and find out, they will confirm. I'm sure their information is genuine, and they will confirm to you that what I am saying makes sense. So Akhenaten, they came from a planet that is called Tenamatin. Aten is the sun, or the word for sun in the language of the extraterrestrials, or the place where Akhenaten came from. The word Achen is how it is described, is what I was told. Akhenaten. Achen means the path of the star. All of the stars, including the sun, they have an orbit in space, a kind of a big orbit, I believe, that they go around in. So this path, and it was mentioned to me specifically that it would go anti-clockwise. So the path that the star that Akhenaten's people are from goes anti-clockwise. It has a certain path in the sky, and the path is the Akhen of the sun. Obviously, Akhenaten was royalty in the planet that he came from. The planet that he came from is called Tenamatin. Tenamatin is the planet. This planet is bigger than Earth. It has a very strong gravitational force. The gravity is much heavier than the one of this one here that we have on Earth, and it goes anti-clockwise around their sun or their atom. Okay, and Tenamatin, Tenam means the path of the planet, or the planet, the one that revolves around the atom. Tenam is it follows the atom or the sun, their atom, their sun. Our sun is also referred to as an atom in Tutankhamun's people's language. So the name Akhenaten is the path of the sun itself, the star itself in the around the sky, okay, in the heavens. And Tenam is the name of the planet, or this name of this planet means the path that the planet takes, or the one that revolves around the atom or their sun, their atom. It also goes anti-clockwise around their sun. Apparently, it is not clockwise; it's anti-clockwise. And the sun, the atom itself, where Akhenaten came from, also goes anti-clockwise through its part of the universe, the sky. Okay. Now, what happened was, long story short, Akhenaten and his people landed on Earth a long time ago. They came in spaceships, and they still apparently do visit Earth. Their spaceships are disc-shaped. They made it very clear to me that they are disc-shaped. They don't have any irregularities. They are not triangular. They don't have any wings. They don't have any colors. I was laughing. They said they're not colorful. They're not like, they don't have wings. They don't have anything like that. They're just a circle, okay, or like an elliptical shape. You know, like the inverted hat shape of UFOs. You know, the regular shape that you see. This is Akhenaten's ship. That's their shape. So they came down, and he saw Nefertiti. Nefertiti was very famous for her beauty. Apparently, the whole world knew about Nefertiti's beauty. It wasn't just in Egypt. So people all around the world knew about Nefertiti. Whenever she used to go into a place and sit down, people used to look at her and admire her beauty. When Akhenaten's people arrived from their star onto Earth, he saw Nefertiti and he fell in love with her. Now, one thing that Akhenaten and his people had was a device that helped them open a door behind. The way that they showed me, I was standing and it was behind me, this door. This door, the device opens the door. You go through the door and you arrive on their planet, or vice versa. The ships were used to travel also around the universe. But there was a door, there was a device that would open a door, like a Stargate. Exactly that they're saying, as a Stargate. It would open a Stargate and he would enter this Stargate and exit on his planet, and that could be done from his planet to Earth. So Akhenaten apparently was a very good man, and he believed in the Most High God. All of these, if you look at my channel, I always talk about all of the extraterrestrials believing in God, in the Most High God. So Akhenaten came and he fell in love with Nefertiti, with how she looked. He, however, had a higher brain capacity than Nefertiti or than the people of Earth. Their brains are quite large, and they explained to me that this increase in the brain size, or the big brain, is because of the gravity that they have on the planet, the high gravity. And if you look at Akhenaten, he looks like he is a little bit like he has like a hunchback and a belly. All of this happened to him because when they came from their planet to this planet, and this planet of ours has less gravity than that planet, he grew like hunched. When they arrived, he was around the same height, okay? But the lack of gravity worked against his body. So that's why his face was different from the other Egyptian pharaohs. And apparently there was something to do with the brain capacity. That's why they have the big skull behind on the back of their heads. They have bigger skulls and bigger brains. And the skull itself is thicker. So apparently what I was told is that if you try to break that skull of Akhenaten's skull, it is very hard to break the actual skull. It's impossible, is what they said. It's not possible to break the skull. It was very strongly, or thick, the skull, apparently. So, what happened was he fell in love with Nefertiti. Nefertiti wasn't sure about him. They said that she was very psychic, Nefertiti, and she was not sure. What I was told was that he did something to her with his brain. It was not magic or black magic, but it was to reveal to her the truth about him, because she was scared of him. They were scared of them because they were large, big, very big people. Apparently he was around 270 centimeters tall, Akhenaten, or like over 2 meters tall, okay, when he was alive. And they were large in size, the people who come from Tenamatin. And they had their devices, and they could fly in their ships. So people were scared of them. And Nefertiti, to the people of Earth at that time, and Nefertiti and the people in that part of the world at that time, when they saw Akhenaten and his people, they saw them, and they did not look good in their eyes. They looked a bit scary. So Akhenaten did something with his brain to Nefertiti to make her see the truth about him, that he was a good guy, that he was actually a nice person, that he was humble, that he was good, that he was meant to be with her, is what I was told. That was the main thing that he, with his brain, telepathically placed into Nefertiti's brain. And Nefertiti went and divined. She used to divine using cowrie shells. And if you have any African heritage or from the Nile, especially the Nile Basin, you'll know that we use cowrie shells to divine, to see the future, the past, the present, and the future. So she used to use the cowrie shells. And I was told that she repeated the process of divination many, many times. 5 times or 6 times. Was it 6? 7? 10 times she divined using the cowrie shells. 10 times, 10 separate occasions, to check if he was her destiny. He was supposed to be the one for her. He didn't want her to be forced to be with him. He wanted her to recognize that she was meant for him and he was meant for her by God. So she came to that conclusion after divining for 10 times and seeing that yes, indeed, he is her destiny. So they got married, and they had children. In her first pregnancy, Nefertiti had a normal skull initially, apparently. And Akhenaten had the big skull, because he was from Tenamatin, from that planet. So she got pregnant with 2 children. She always used to have 2 children, because apparently there is something that she used to take that made her ovulate from both ovaries simultaneously. 1 ovum from each ovary. So she used to have 2 children each pregnancy. So in her first pregnancy, she had 2 children, a boy and a girl. They took Akhenaten's people, apparently if Nefertiti had gone through childbirth to try and deliver the babies, because the babies had big skulls. The daughter had a big skull. The son had a big skull as well, like Akhenaten's skull. Apparently this skull thing is genetic, like hereditary, like people can inherit it. So they took something from the daughter, her pregnancy, from her daughter, from inside her womb. They took genetic material from Nefertiti's child and placed that genetic material into Nefertiti's genome. And then Nefertiti changed from having a normal head like us, like we do now, or like the normal human head, to a large head with a large brain capacity. And that enabled her to deliver the babies. Her whole body changed, her face changed. So you will find that Nefertiti's is interesting, because if you look at Nefertiti's bust, the older busts show her as a normal human woman. The newer ones show her as her face has changed. It looks changed. It looks like she's changed, and her head is bigger. This thing that the pharaohs used to wear on their heads was because of the big skull size, to accommodate the large skull. So she used to deliver 2 at a time. She had 4 sets of boy and girl pregnancies, or was it? Yeah, and then she had 2 girls after that. So she had in a total 6 girls, and she had 4 boys. The 4 boys were taken to that planet, Tenamatin, that's behind Canis Major, and the daughters were left here to procreate, because only the daughters could pass their genome to the children. The men, if they would have married a normal woman, the boy children of Nefertiti and Akhenaten, if they would have had married a woman from this planet, then that would have meant that the women would have not been able to bear the children. It makes sense, doesn't it? Because if they have women from here, they will have normal heads, therefore normal bodies. They will not be able to bear the children with the big skulls. And they did not want to go through any modifications or modifying the woman. That was only done to Nefertiti to enlarge her head, because she was considered a royal and the king wanting to keep her to himself. So that's why it was done with her consent to her. Okay, but this process was not meant to be repeated. It was done by permission from God, apparently, to Nefertiti. So, Akhenaten and Nefertiti had these children, the 6 daughters. The daughter that is my ancestor from the lineage is Akhenaten Nefertiti. Ankhenaten means the heart. Okay? Ankhenaten means the heart of, apparently, in their language. In Akhenaten's people's language, Ankhenaten means the heart of. Pa is the father, or the god, or no. Pa means the head. Yeah, Ankhenaten, Pa, the head, and heart of the Aten. When she married Tutankhamun, she changed her name to Ankhenaten Amun, which means the heart of Amun, not the head and the heart. Ankhenaten Pa means the head and the heart of the Aten. Ankhenaten Amun means the heart of Amun. The word Ankhenaten means heart. Okay? So that's how the lineage was passed down. Okay? And then they had, when she married Tutankhamun, was a normal guy. And then the genes were then diluted throughout the lineages, and they continued. Okay, they had many. After that, Tutankhamun died. He was young, apparently. He passed on, and many other things happened. These women who were born with the elongated heads, they passed on their genome, and it mixed in the genetic pool of Egypt. What happened was, apparently Akhenaten when they came with their ships, they told the Egyptians that the Egyptians used to worship a pantheon of gods. They used to have gods. And these gods apparently many of them were extraterrestrial. Some of them were from here, with people with very highly supernatural abilities. They used to worship them. There was like a misunderstanding. Apparently they did not understand that there was a one God. So Akhenaten, when he ruled, he got rid of the pantheon of gods, and he told them to worship the Lord of the sun disk, or the Lord of the Aten, the God of the sun. He told them that God was the light of the heavens and the earth, and this is God. So instead of worshipping the God of the sun, they worship the sun instead, the Aten instead, in future generations. But when he was here, they used to worship God, the one God that we know, the Most High God. When that happened, the priests, the pharaonic priests at the time, were not happy about Akhenaten's change, but they had to conform to it because he was very powerful. He used to have healing abilities. He used to have a device that looked like, when they showed it to me, it looked like a mobile or a tablet that he used to hold in his left hand. And he used to place his right hand on top of the person. People used to come to him. He could cure diseases. He could make changes in the people's lives to the better. He could give them a better farm, a better crop, bring them money, bring them love. They used to queue to come and see him, and he was king. Nefertiti, because her brain capacity increased, was able to do the same thing, but she used to use the same device that Akhenaten was using. She didn't have a separate device, and I think this is an important point. They told me to say that she used the same device. In the end, what happened was that from Tenamatin, the planet that revolved around that sun, someone who Akhenaten had, it wasn't a problem, but Akhenaten was royalty, so he had told this person was born with some kind of genetic anomaly that made them more hostile. So when Akhenaten was, before he came to earth, he told this person, he said to him, we can help you remove this hostility from you. And then that person, he still had a big brain capacity like Akhenaten, went and did something deceptive and hid his thoughts from his people. These people, they could read each other's minds, okay? They communicate with telepathy, okay? And that is like there's like laws that prohibit them from hiding their brain, their thoughts and what they're thinking of from each other now. But at that time, the laws were not as developed as they were now. When this happened, there was a change in the law because of this incident. So this man, with the hostile feelings, he was upset, resentful towards Akhenaten, because he told him that he wanted to change his hostility and anger into normal behavior and good behavior. Whatever they consider normal was like not hostile and loving and kind and high vibrational. So they wanted to help him. He did not take that very well, and he invented something to hide his thoughts. He used some kind of device. He didn't invent it, but apparently he stole something to conceal, or used something to conceal his thoughts, however that happened. And then after Akhenaten came here and ruled for a while as king, that man came from Tenamatin, the planet that is behind Canis Major, came to Earth and genetically engineered some people who were from the Mediterranean area. I don't know where they were from, but it was a place around the Mediterranean, to give them bigger brain capacities. The only reason he did that, he made himself into a god in that area. It was very far from where Akhenaten was, and he also concealed himself when he arrived to Earth from him. And he established some kind of kingdom or following or cult or whatever it was, and over there, and he gave these people these bigger brain capacities. The only reason he did that to them was because he wanted someone to be able to kill Akhenaten. And in the end, they succeeded in betraying Akhenaten and killing Akhenaten. So Akhenaten was killed, okay? Nefertiti remained after that on Earth. She didn't go, and then she went and buried between a place in the north of the country of Sudan and south of Egypt, in that area between Luxor and Wadi Halfa, the area that is at the south of Egypt. And she ruled after that, and many things happened. But this was the story of Nefertiti and Akhenaten. So I thought it was a beautiful romantic story. It moved me very much, and I loved it because it's another example that love does not know color or background or creed, and that everyone should live in love and not in fear, like I always tell you people in my channel. And I know you are all amazing people. You are loving people, lovely people, and blessed people. Whoever listens to these videos, you are high vibrational. Know that you are someone amazing. You are someone who is loved and cherished by us and by many other creations of God throughout the universe. So they told me that the message today was that everything you wanted me to say about Akhenaten Nefertiti and Ankhesenamun, Ankhesenpatania. That's all. Okay, Tenamatin and Aten. Okay, that's all. I think that's enough information. They said that's all that they wanted me to say, and they had a message today that there's going to be a lot of technological advances this year, or discoveries that will move humanity forward. There's going to be a lot of things that are going to help us raise our vibration, and there's going to be some change to the population of Earth. Apparently a large portion, especially people who choose to stay in a low vibrational energy, are not going to make it into the new Earth. That people need to raise their vibration, and that is exactly what is happening now. So the whole planet is raising their vibration to go forward, but the message was that not everyone is going to make it into the high vibrational Earth. People who choose to stay in a low vibration are not going to make it. There will be something that will happen during this year that is going to reduce the population of the Earth. There are going to be 3 categories of people: very high vibrational people who are going to remain on Earth or high vibrational, low vibrational people who are not going to make it into the new Earth, and then people in the middle. These people are going to be taken up and then raised in vibration in the spirit world, apparently. Okay, so that's what I was told. I was also told that as a planet advances, because I asked about this planet, Tenamatin, and how old it was, and apparently it's several millions or billion years more advanced than Earth. They have a long history of development. The gravity is the reason for their big brains. The high gravity, the planet size is much bigger than Earth. It has not been observed by any telescope on Earth, or anybody on Earth has not seen it yet. But what they said to me is that they have also started off with a lower mental capacity in their history. As their planet advanced into the future, their brain capacities increased. And this is what's also happening here on Earth. So this year, there's going to be a lot of evidence that the brain capacity of people is increasing. People are going to be becoming more spiritual, more loving, more kind, more generous, more energetic. There are going to be many spiritual gifts that are going to be seen in people because of the increase in the brain capacity. So people are going to be more evolved, more advanced. Okay, and this happens in cycles apparently, and it is the work of God himself. So there's usually leaps in intelligence and things like that happen to the human population at certain stages of development, or to any population on any planet in the universe. They all go through periods when they have low brain capacity, and they have periods when they develop and their brain size increases. And they said that as Earth goes into the future, the brain capacity of people and the brain size is going to increase naturally as well, until we reach the point where they are at. So they have very high technology, like I've described in the beginning. This is what the message that they gave me, and they explained that to me very clearly. And they are also part of Akhenaten's people, are still in the universe. They're still in their ships. They still have the Stargates. They still come to Earth and go, and they have a lot to do with spreading love and light and healing and peace on the Earth. And they have a lot of amazing things, amazing work that they are doing with the Star Council. They are, like I've said in my Extraterrestrial Messages and Revelations series, I'm going to leave the link below. there is going to be a change that is very important for the planet. Okay, that is happening, and the Star Council, there are members from Earth who are in the Star Council at the moment, but they have limited power because of their limited brain capacity. So we still have limited brain capacity, even though we are evolving and it's improving, but our brain capacity is still limited. As the planet evolves and the brain capacity increases, then the humanity can become in the higher ranks of the Star Council and so on. Okay, so it's an amazing story, you guys. I love these stories that they tell me. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for watching, and know that there is hope. I saw images of a greener earth, a better earth, full of love and light. I saw a lot of wealth, a lot of healing being brought to the collective, especially through light workers and people of the light who choose to be high vibrational and explore their spiritual side more, and open their minds to high vibrational thoughts and patterns of thinking that take them into a higher existence. That is the message of the Most High God, to live in love and peace and not in fear and war and hatred of each other. We have to all be together, and in the end there is going to be an amalgamation of races, and people are going to all be one people on this planet. So that's what they told me in the distant future, not now. Maybe we won't, maybe most of us will not be here when that happens, but in the future there's going to be one planet. But now we won't see that. There's still going to be segregation and issues, but there's a lot of natural things that are happening that are pushing the worth and the power of the earth forward in terms of vibration, and elevating the vibration of the collective. And a special word of encouragement to all the light workers, the seers, the healers, spiritual people. You are doing an amazing job. Motivational people, motivating people, helping people advance, helping people open their minds, their hearts and souls to spirit and to higher vibrations of love and light. You are going to be looked after and taken care of. Nothing. You will lack and nothing. Okay, and I am seeing a lot of wealth, love, health and happiness and joy in all of your lives. And this is the message that they wanted, that King Akhenaten wanted to give you all today. It was not, I was told clearly, this is not a message from Nefertiti, it is a message from King Akhenaten's spirit himself. Okay, Nefertiti is watching, she's cool, but this message was from Akhenaten himself. I hope you guys, this has helped explain to you some things. I know some of these things can seem like fantasy, but as time goes on, you will discover that everything that I am sharing on these channels is the truth and nothing but the truth. Okay, I love you guys so much, and I will see you guys in your next video. Thank you so much.